para sa inyo nga mga okasyon, kadtuin nyo lang si Mr. and Mrs. Cyril Takusalmi. Kag pwede man kamo makakontak sa ilang mobile numbers, Ario 0920-825-6483. 0920-825-6483 kag 0916-786-8896 Pinangs Flower Shop. Kag hindi ka mo magkalipat ang wheels ng city government ara dira makitan sa Iloilo Newsline kag sa Gimaras Newsline pagid sa YouTube channel sang Iloilo Newsline ara dira hasta ang ano to gani noy kasanag sang Paskwa no nga bahanon ara man dira sa YouTube channel. Okay? Diri na kita sa pagplaster sang aton nga mga headline. Ang IBC o kon International Builders Corporation nagpagwa sang ilang official statement may kang tanan ini sa pag-usmod sang ungka Pavia flyover. So ibalon nato nini karon ang kaundan sang ilang press statement verbatim no tanawon ta o kon basahon ta para mabalan sang publiko nga mayara na gidman nga lihok nga pa ang IBC kag ang DPWH nga pagakayuhon sa madasig nga panahon ang nag-usmod nga flyover dira sa ungka Pavia. 9 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9 sa dugang pagin nga impormasyon na President BBM may gindala naman nga proyekto no nga mga pledges ini makon mga 9 bilyones pesos naman ang gindalayaw. 9 bilyones pesos ang gindala ni President BBM sa Pinas. Pero suno sa mga political analyst hindi pa kuno chimpo nga kuan kita niyo tukod sang Maharlika Investment Fund kay nga pigado pa mo no pigado pa. Samtang si Marcos o kon BBM nagpahayag nga very productive ang ginhiwat nga siyan Europe Summit. Ilabi na nga ginhiwat ini sa Brussels Belgium no didto ayon ginhiwat tinakapangganyat naman siya sa mga investors. Samtang ang social security system tulod nga dapat increasean ko ng contribution na rate. Pila na increase nyo? 14% next year from current 13%. Dapat increasean nyo man ang ginakuha bala nga sa mga miyembro ninyo ni no ang ila pensyon increasean nyo man kaya kung increasean nyo ni ang contribution dapat retire nila increasean nyo man para may balor man ang ilang pagpaninguha, diba? Dapat may balor man ang ilang pagpaninguha. So standby yan ay sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers ibalon nato nini karon ang dugang mga impormasyon. Sa una nga adlaw nga simbang gabi no o kon misa di Gallo o misa Aguinaldo no namo nang tawag nila mo successful kuno suno sa Philippine National Police. No, wala sa mga dalag ko nga magumuntang nga nagluluntad. Pero ang mga kabataan, ang iba niya nagpara pakuroya sa plaza instead nga magsulod sa simbahan. Kaya makon nyo lang ang kalabanan mga millennial niyo. Abi magpangamuyo mga mo para way na pandemya nga magluntad sa aton. More power, Iloilo, bringing more to life.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even source 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
Ang Iloilo Terminal Market o kung super ang isa sa pinakadako nga merkado sa siyudad sang Iloilo na may aras sang 1,089 ka mga stalls nga natunga sa nagakalain-lain nga mga market section. Almost 20 years nga nagligad sang ulihin nga ginrehabilitate sang city government kag nag-occupy sang 1.78 hectares nga ginalakipan sang Mabini, De Leon, Puentes, kag Rizal State City proper. Ang Iloilo Terminal Market ang bagsakan sa dalagko kag bultuhan nga produkto nga naga-operate 24 hours kag makonsideran nga busiest market. Pinakadtuan ini lamang sa mga manugbakal bangod sa barato kag kompleto nga mga produkto.
10 years na akong hindi na nakapangumbra sa super. Mga vegetables man kag assorted lang, sari-sari lang, madamo man. Dili man ko kakuha sa super.
Ako si Dante Manggalisan, nagapangidaron 69 anyos. Duro gid ang nabulig siyang market sa akon kaya napaskwila ang kabataan ko kag subong may mga obrana. Di nagapasalamat gid ako sa ini nga market nga nakabulig sa akon. Bati-bati sa nga namon nga debited ang supermarket ting iba namon nga mga upod naga-alang-alang. Nga base dala sa uling, di sila kabalik, kabadulaan sa pangabulian. Sa bulig ni Mama Maricel, kaya mga staff, nga painsindi sa amon, pag-upuhon lang ang aton nga market. Kung magwapo ang aton nga market, magaduro na sa uli ang mga tawo nga customer naton nga mag-alabot diri sa supermarket kag pamakal para makakumpit kita sa mga mall.
Ang Local Economic Enterprise Office amo na ang managing umbrella sa 7 ka public markets kag isa ka slaughterhouse diri sa siyudad sang Iloilo. We are committed nga maghatag sa maayo nga serbisyo sa mga Ilonggo paagi sa insakto kag proactive nga management style sa ating mga personnel kag stakeholders.
Kung sa kayo, mas dami ang development kung may ara ang kalayon. Amo na ang gusto ko para nga mas komportable pag ang isa ka mabumulakal diri sa super.
Handom sa atong pinalangga nga Mayor Cherry Treñas nga maging highly urbanized sa tuig sang 2028. Kag pati man sa iya handom nga mapanami kag mapamodernize ang atong mga merkado diri sa siyudad sang Iloilo. Luckily, ang dream naton nga amat-amat na nga mangin realidad bangod sa padayon natin nga pagsuporta sa mga inisyatibo nga nagapamaayos sa mga infrastructure kag business process diri sa ating siyudad.
Di nagapasalamat gid kami sa amon nga palangga nga mayor, rehabilitate sang super nga ang tawo nga diri nga mga bindot hindi mamuduraan pisto makabalik mo gyapon sa nga baligyan.
Di 16 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Padayon kamo nga nagapamati diri sa atong pagwaragwag sa Iloilo Night Watch, mabatian kita sa Iloilo Newsline sa Facebook page kag sa isa pagid ka platform ang Gimaras Newsline. Kag sa YouTube channel live man kita mga kabyanan sa aton nga pagwaragwag. Sa sining tinion, ipabati ta sa inyo ang official statement sang DPWH, kontraktor, kag subong man kunano ang kaundan sang ila sining ginamitingan sa central office sang DPWH may kang tanan sa pag-usmod sang ungka flyover. So ipabasa ta sa atong staff verbatim, no? Kung ano ang ginpadala nilang official statement, amo gina ang aton nga pagabasahon. Okay? Testingan ta ang aton nga staff para mabasa ni ang ila nga official statement. Okay? Sige. Diba, basahon ta? Sige, go ahead.
DPWH contractor commit to work together to resolve Iloilo flyover issue. On December 16, 2022, the Department of Public Works and Highways the DPWH and the contractor of the Ongka 2 flyover have committed to work together to address the issues hounding the said infrastructure in Pavia, Iloilo. This was agreed upon during the meeting between DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan, DPWH Region 6 officials and contractor International Builders Corporation or IBC recently held in Manila. During the meeting, DPWH Secretary Bonoan committed to fast-track the recommendation for the engineering intervention by sending a technical working group from DPWH Bureau of Design to Iloilo City Ongka flyover. The meeting was attended by officials from the DPWH Central Office, the Bureau of Design or DPWH Region 6 and IBC. The concerned parties have committed to work together and promised to fast-track the verification from the engineering interventions to address the problems besetting the flyover, the IBC management said in a statement. The parties agreed to wait for the results of the audit being conducted by a team that arrived this week from the DPWH Central Office to perform a comprehensive assessment of the situation of the said flyover. The safety of the riding and driving public has always been our priority all these years, they added. Reference John Wayne Almazan, 0920.
Okay na. So thank you so much. So amo ning official statement sang IBC kag sang DPWH no nagpasalig sila nga fast track ang pag reconstruct sang flyover no dira sa Ongka Pavia, no? Kay ti madugay na ini nga ginahulat-hulat sang mga pumuluyo kag para nga hindi man magantos ang publiko, no, mga riding public nga suffer sa kagutok, late sila sa pagtrabaho, pagkadto sa eskwelahan, kaatrasar sila bangod sa sining hitabo nga hindi man posible o wala man ini nga ginhungod sa taga-IBC siguro man eh. So nagpasalig ang DPWH kag IBC nga i-reconstruct na nila sa madali nga panahon. Kung sa aton pagtanaw nagapangayo gid sa pasensya, nagapangayo gid sa kapatawaran, no? Nga paghangup kay hindi man na nila nga muna balang hambal naton, way man na nila gin pangayo nga muna matabo, no? Pero tanawon ta, no? Tanawon ta hatagan ta sa benefit of the doubt ang ining contractor kay ti madamo naman tuod sa mga proyekto nga gin-establisher nila, tukod nila diri sa Western Visayas. So ang ining official statement nagikan sa kay sa ila ning staff, no? Dira sa IBC, no? Salamat gid, nagapasalamat kita at least nakapagwa sila sang ilang official statement. 22 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Padayon kamo nga nagapamati diri sa ato nga pagawaragwag. Alang may concern di si Noriel Martisano. Ang amon karsada diri sa Tabuk Suba, Lapas. wala nila gintapos ti basi balikan man na guro nila, no? Nagapamati sila kabay pang balikan nyo to palihog, nagahingyo ang pumuluyo. Diraman sa class 84, class 88 sa Manapla National High School mayong gabi, kag sa dekada 90 sa St. Joseph School Ihas de Jesus mayong gabi sa inyong tanan. Sa mga pulis naton sa PRO 6 nga nagamonitor sa mga miyembro sa Philippine Army Spearhead Division, thank you so much sa pag-monitor. Diraman sa LGU Tapas Kapis, thank you so much. Sa mga drivers sa Iklahuda, no, kag subong man sa mga taxi drivers nga nagamonitor, thank you so much. Ilabi na kay pare Raul Gordo be nga mo ga monitor, kag mga kopdana niya, thank you gid. Kag diraman sa Canada, sa Ontario, Canada, kay Edward o kon kay Ide Moriera sa South Korea, kay Nimia Marquillero, kag sa iya pamilya sa Ibawaan na Mandurriao, mayong gabi sa inyong tanan. No, salamat sa pagtanaw kag pagpamati. 23 minutos na nakaligad sa last 9. Kag ginadulong man sa inyo sang Vitron Animal Clinic. Ang Vitron Animal Clinic na hamtang sa Barangay San Miguel, Hordan, Guimaras, ginapanagyan ni Doc Ronnie Galia, ang rehistradong veterinarian. No, wala sang kulba kung magdala kamo sang inyo mga sapat para nga ipatanaw, pa-immunize sa kay Doc Ronnie Galia dira sa Vitron Animal Clinic, wala gid sang problema. Dahil anyo lang dito, matinatapon pa ina nga doktor kung parte sa sapat. Sa subong nga matin yun, ipabati ta sa inyo ang hambal ni President BBM. Nga nangin productive ang pagbisita niya sa Belgium sa pagtambong sa ASEAN-Europe Summit. Tinakadala siya sa investment para makabulig sa Pilipinas. Hamakon 9 bilyones pesos ni. Di dako-dako na ni. No? Dako-dako na ni. Kabay pa nga magasigi-sigi. Kag ilabi na nga magnubo gid ang mga petroleum products ni. No? Kag magnubo ang mga balaklon sa Pinas. Yari si President BBM.
And concerns such as connectivity, trade, digital transition, food security, climate change, geopolitics, amongst others. I was honored to deliver one of the opening remarks during the commemorative summit, in which I was proud to note the recent milestones in ASEAN-EU relations under the Philippines coordinatorship, the adoption of the ASEAN-EU Plan of Action for 2023 to 2027, and the successful conclusion of the first ever summit between ASEAN and EU leaders. And this is a very significant development that the EU has turned very, very distinctly towards the Asia-Pacific region when it comes to the driving force behind the new global economy. And this is not really surprising, considering that in terms of geopolitical aggruppations, the EU and the ASEAN are two of the most active, best organized, and cohesive organizations in the world. And to put them together is a very important partnership because it is servicing over billions and billions of people, both in Europe and in the Asia Pacific. I also welcome the adoption of the Joint Leaders Statement at the ASEAN-EU Commemorative Summit, which is the product of intensive discussions between ASEAN and EU member states. At the 10th ASEAN-EU Business Summit, I shared the Philippines' perspective on deepening ASEAN-EU trade through efforts in sustainable development, which is the theme of the Business Summit spearheaded by the ASEAN-EU Business Council. The ASEAN-EU Business Council has a pivotal role to play in advancing ASEAN's regional economic integration and post-pandemic economic recovery efforts. Through its various initiatives and valuable recommendations, which have been very useful in terms of prioritizing areas and initiatives for ASEAN's regional economic integration. I also met with several business leaders from different European companies through the week, all of them committed to be part of our development and our economic growth, particularly in renewable energy, infrastructure, food security, climate change initiatives. With European technology and innovation, with Filipino talent and ingenuity and industry, we will be working on addressing some of our key economic challenges. I am happy to be able to announce that I have met with various leading ship owners all over Europe, and we were able to get their commitment to help our country hurdle some of the challenges in our seafarers' EMSA accreditation through the creation of an advisory council composed of our concerned government agencies, international and local ship owners, and other stakeholders. Beyond that, I was able to meet with the EU Commission President, President Ursula von der Leyen, who is actually in charge of it is the Commission, it's not the EU. They are the ones who actually are the ones who provide that accreditation. So I explained to her what we have done, that we have this new advisory council, and she made the promise that that the Commission itself would provide technical help to us so that within the 3 months, we have a 3-month deadline, within the 3 months, that we will be able to remedy all of the deficiencies that EMSA has been pointing out, and hopefully we finally solve this problem. I'm also looking forward to share more good news in the next few months that reaffirms the optimism with which how international investors view the Philippines today. Once again, as part of the Asia-Pacific region, we are seen still as coming back to our role as the driver of the global economy. And the Philippines is very much part of that. And we are considered as an investment by the Europeans. This is what they told me, that we are considered by the Europeans as number 2 in terms of investor attractiveness next to Vietnam. So we are doing all right, but of course there's room to grow. Our delegation also organized a business roundtable that served as an important catalyst for the renewed relations of the Philippines and the EU business communities. I was joined by the economic managers and other cabinet members where I announced our recent game-changing laws that aim to transform our business environment significantly in favor of investors and support for inward foreign direct investments. I'm also pleased to announce that European business confidence in the Philippines is high, as evidenced by the expansion plans of European companies that we met in the sectors of fast-moving consumer goods, in shipbuilding, renewable energy, and green metals. An estimated investment pledge of around 9.8 billion pesos has been received. I was also able to call on the King of Belgium, who fondly recalls his visit to the Philippines many years ago, and I invited His Majesty to visit the Philippines again. I also held bilateral meetings with my counterparts from the European Council, the European Commission, Estonia, Sweden, Czech Republic, the Netherlands, and Spain, with whom I identified many possible areas of further development and future partnerships. We will follow these up until they come to fruition. Finally, my trip would not be complete without meeting, of course, our fellow Filipinos who are living in Belgium. However, it was not just limited to Belgium, as many came from as far as Italy, Poland, Germany, and Belgium to be with us at the gathering. It was a very fulfilling event, as I was able to personally thank them for their support. I was also able to hear their concerns and update them on the priorities of this administration. As a final note, I am delighted that my first visit to Europe, in Brussels in particular, which has the seals of the European Commission, the Council of the European Union, and the European Council, is a successful one. And I can see how the outcomes of this visit will generate opportunities for the benefit of the Filipino people. Ang naging downside lang ay nakakahiya yung presidente niyo dahil nung nagsasalita ako, papayak-payak ako na gano'n. Pero naintindihan naman daw nila. Sabi ko na, sorry na lang dahil yung mga winter ninyo hindi bagay sa Pilipino yan. Kaya ako nagkaganto. But anyway, besides that, I feel that we have laid much groundwork on which we can, fertile groundwork on which we can plant the seeds of these new partnerships that we have spoken about with our friends and our partners in Europe. Maraming salamat po. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat.
Nabatian si Presidente Ferdinand Marcos Jr. sa iya ni nga pagbisita dito sa Belgium, no, sa European Union Summit. Very productive. No, mayad gid, no? Mayad gid na pang-invitar kita investors nga maga-invest sa Pinas para mabatak-batak ang aton nga nagsarurot nga ekonomiya. No, kabay pa tani nga magdamo pagid. No, magdamo pagid ang maga-invest dire. Para nga madamo ang makatrabaho. Iban nga nawad-an sang trabaho during pandemya, makatrabaho na para nga maipakaon man sa ilang pamilya. Kag maganubo man ang mga presyo sa mga balaklon. Kaya hindi basta-basta subong presyo sa mga balaklon, tama ang mahal. No? Bisan na mga ulotanon, nagsalaka. Mga canned goods, grabe pagsaka, mayara pa yun ang mga gatas ko, no, masaka pagid ba? O grabe, tama na na. Hasta ang mga kalamay, masaka pagid ko, no? Ay, saan o pa ni magauntat ang sinakaay manginamos ini? More power Iloilo, bringing more to life.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even sourced 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
Our roadmap, Wheels for Inclusive Development and Good Governance, has been the backbone of our mission in bringing our city to the next level. W, our first addendum among 6, stands for welfare. Efficient traffic management is one of the important aspects of this platform. Iloilo City prides itself being a walkable and bikeable metropolis, hailed as the most bike-friendly in the country. Its wide diversion road, complete with pedestrian alleys and protected bike lanes, attract attention, acclaims, and accolades from all over the place. Ilonggos and visitors can stroll along spacious sidewalks without eyesores and lighter sides of the busy streets because of less traffic, while bikers are safe in sharing the roads. Here are some specific actions made to achieve efficient traffic management. An intelligent transport system is in the works for a centralized coordination of related choke points and gray areas in the field. This is one of the major features of the iCare Command Center at Gaisano Business Hub. Iloilo City is creating its Traffic Academy for knowledge and training of traffic personnel and drivers through annual refresher courses. The initiative will be established at Technical Institute of Iloilo City, Barrio Obrero Campus. We will be the first LGU having this kind of program. City Hall has provided 20 motorcycles for traffic personnel to perform their duties and conduct check of road conditions, especially on areas that experience congestion. 20 bike patrols are doing regular rounds along Esplanade to ensure enforcement of public safety. 2 patrol vehicles are being used to respond to assess and address urgent situations. The Public Safety and Transportation Management Office, Task Force ASIS, and Office of Barangay Affairs implemented the road clearing operations upon the orders of the national government. Iloilo City's efforts got 83% rating from the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG. For the displaced sidewalk vendors, due to the clearing operation, they were provided a new space. Financial assistance was also given to them so they can start anew. As Iloilo City levels up, it also gets to face more concerns, especially with regard to traffic. The city government has sought the help of the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA in crafting a traffic plan in August 2019. City Hall personnel attended a traffic management seminar with the guidance of scientific and engineering experts. Slowly but surely, officials are optimistic this will give resolution to traffic problems. Iloilo City is geared towards developing more open spaces and access for pedestrian as well as alternative thoroughfares for riding public. We ensure that our city is highly livable and has competent value for safety, peace, and order. Level up Iloilo City. Health Complex. A health complex will rise complete with hospital, quarantine, isolation and dormitory facilities, and molecular laboratory, all in one location at Barangay San Pedro Molo. The 104-bed Level 2 hospital will have an intensive care unit and specialist doctors per DOH standards. Molecular Laboratory. There's an urgent need for faster releasing of RT-PCR results to effectively and efficiently manage confirmed cases. With that, we converted the ALS building into a temporary COVID-19 molecular laboratory, hiring 34 medical technologists. Later on, the machines can be calibrated to test dengue and HIV. Contact tracing. We already trained 120 persons as contact tracers. The City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit of the City Health Office is conducting aggressive contact tracing to locate all close contacts and manage confirmed cases efficiently and effectively. Patient transport. 6 ambulance units and 1 minibus are being used by the Iloilo City Emergency Response of the City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office in transporting positive patients to healthcare or quarantine facilities. Modular Hospital. Iloilo City government and partners have started preparing additional beds for COVID-19 patients. This temporary hospital seeks to address the high health care utilization rate, considering the city-based facilities also catered to patients from 5 neighboring provinces in Panay Island. A 66-bed modular hospital, which is a 3-unit 22-bed per unit, will be built nearby Suoc quarantine facility. An additional 32 isolation beds will also be built in front of the existing one, also in Suoc. The isolation and quarantine facilities shall form part of the proposed hospital in collaboration with the Department of Health. Quarantine facilities. St. Therese Hospital, which has been non-operational for quite some time, has been lent for free and has been serving as a quarantine facility. This move is in preparation for possible increase in infections, which may be caused by the more contagious Delta variant. Iloilo City has put in place a total of 1,500 isolation beds, including close to 1,000 in government-run facilities and at least 500 private beds in various partner hotels in case of COVID-19 surge. This will cater to mild and moderate cases to give the already overwhelmed hospitals a breathing room. City-run facilities have provided lunch and dinner meals, medicines, vitamins, hygiene kits, and medical checkups. City Vax Teams. The city's vaccination teams include city health office doctors, nurses, vaccinators, health workers, site managers, liga ng mga barangay, IT, PSTMO and PNP personnel, volunteers, and logistics team from the General Services Office. They target at least 10,000 vaccinations a day in the 5 identified mega sites: SM City, Robinson's Haro, Mega Road Transport Hub, Central Philippine University, and Ateneo de Iloilo. They also conduct community-based vaccination in barangays identified as having low vaccination turnout. We have 28 medical officers or doctors, vaccinators composed of 51 nurses and 13 midwives, 16 nursing aides, 13 dentists, 303 assistants composed of BSPOs, health workers, health center staffs, and etc. Disinfection. City Health Office Sanitation Division disinfects city government offices that are locked down following confirmed cases, as well as national government agencies and establishments that request assistance. Volunteer fire brigades and Bureau of Fire Protection also help in disinfection. The threat of this pandemic has pushed the Iloilo City government to double its efforts in fighting the unseen enemy, without overlooking the usual health issues, problems, and concerns that need to be addressed. Let us continue to bring Iloilo City to the next level.
Gusto mo bala sa manamit nga donut nga dalon sa imo pamilya? Hindi ka na magbakal sa iban pa. Bungod bukas na para sa tanan ang Mars Pastries nga napahamtang sa sulod sang Ceres Terminal sa Barangay Kamaligaro, syudad sang Iloilo. Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Dali na! Mabakal na kita sa donut sa Mars Pastries. Pasalubong nga may pagpalangga sa imo pamilya. Mars Pastries. Barato na, manami pa!
5, 6, 7, go!
Hello mga suki! Bukas na ang Sergeant Many Grocery kung sa diin makapamakal kamo kag makapangompra sang kinahanglanon sa sulod sang inyo balay. May baligya man sila para sa mga okasyon. Hindi na kamo kinahanglan magkadto sa banwa kag syudad. Gani ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na!
DJ Obet.
Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na sa Sergeant Many Grocery.
Our planet needs more. More from me, more from you, more from all of us. Since we started, More Power has committed itself to bringing more to life. But what is more? As an electric distribution utility, we light up thousands of homes, businesses, and institutions. So that's where we started. Under our 5-year development plan for Iloilo City, we worked to rehabilitate and modernize the system. We conducted an overhaul of our distribution system by investing in state-of-the-art facilities. This made sure our system was more responsive on several levels. Repair and optimization of facilities to decrease power interruptions. Automated restoration to decrease downtime for 90% of these interruptions. A 24/7 response team present for the rest, and mobile substations to relieve overloading. These state-of-the-art technologies have a focus on sustainable practices, such as net metering services allowing consumers to export excess energy, cutting down their cost and increasing the use of renewable energy. All of this while having 100% renewable sourcing from geothermal power plants and cutting electricity rates in half. This made sure that the energy we supplied was more reliable, more accessible, more sustainable, and more affordable. And we will continue to endeavor in incorporating renewable energy into our portfolio for the long term. Our services are only limited by our technology, and when we upgrade, we can bring more to your life. We partnered with LGUs to streamline the application process to make electricity more accessible to all of our consumers. We are not afraid to take on pilferage syndicates. We collaborated with the LGUs to convert these illegal connections to legal connections. Justice and fairness must be the standard. Through the streamlined process, paired with our efforts to apprehend pilferers and crack down on illegal connections, we have reformed the energy sector. Now those who were forced to live on illegal connections can now take pride in being legitimate consumers.
We are also not ignorant of the crisis our city and consumers have been facing. We feel your struggle, and we are here with you as partners. And that's what gave birth to the Partners in Power Foundation.
Through our foundation, we donated millions to help the city and its institutions fight against COVID with dedicated response teams assigned to major hospitals for rapid response to save lives. Beyond all this, we wanted to do more for our environment. In our first 2 years, we planted trees, mangroves, and released fingerlings. We have even adopted an entire mangrove park and supported a citywide endeavor for urban gardening. We also worked on what we could do more within our system. Our entire distribution system was made more sustainable by replacing every wooden pole and transformer with stronger and eco-friendly materials. And for every wooden pole we replaced, we committed to plant trees for each one of them. And you are a part of this too. 1,400 of us worked together to donate flower pots for bike lanes throughout Iloilo City, along with encouraging our workforce to bike to work. But still, there's so much more to be done. Our mission stays the same, to bring more to life. As long as we work together, we can do more, we can be more.
Balik kita sa atong pagpangalagad. Ang ining impormasyon nga naduluman sa inyo sa CL Diaz Poultry Supply. CL Diaz Poultry Supply nahamtang sa Barangay Bagakay, San Dionisio, Iloilo. Ginapanagyan ni Totong Lir kag Cheryl Lucindo Diaz. Gabaligya sa mga feeds ka mga bulong para sa kasapatan. Kadtuin nyo lang dito balihog. Kag mayaraman sila nga barbershop dira sa barangay Bagakay. Kadtuin nyo lang. Kag sa Sinda Conchita mayaraman sila nga branch mga kabiyanan. Sa mga listeners man naton basi magpaubra kamo sang mga tarpaulins kag pa-laminate kamo sa mga IDs o kon souvenirs magpahimo kamo ara sa Graphics Innovative Mind. Ang Graphics Innovative Mind ginapanagyan ni Sir Manny Jan Sanoy na hamtang sa barangay Katiling Banmolo, siyudad sang Iloilo. Kag Eager Farm sa barangay Balibagan, Este Santa Barbara, Iloilo. Ginapanagyan ni William kag Juicy Lagman. Base mag-order ka mo sa mga priskang itlog, tawagin nyo lang sila sa 523-0039. 523-0039 o kung mag-email ka, magtawag ka mo sa 0947 856-4729. 0947-856-4729. Pakitaan nyo lang si William o kung Juicy Lagman. Ipabati ta sa inyo ang pahayag sa Presidente sang Employers Confederation of the Philippines. May kang tanan sini sa pag-interview siya sa mga katapos sa media, partikularmente sa ENC, kung ano ang ilang reaksyon. May kang tanan sa sa plano sang SSS nga pa-increasean, no? Push nilang increasean ang contribution rate sa mga miyembro, no, sa mga miyembro halin sa 13% himuon ko no 14%, no, sa sunod nga tuig ano ang mga reaksyon sa aton nga mga miyembro parte ni sa plano sang SSS. Ang importante magatupa man sa mga retirees, no, ang pensyon nila magatupa kay budlay nang increase lang tang increase sa mga contribution sa mga miyembro at tapusan kung kinanglan na sa mga miyembro magretiro sila base pa buyan-buyanan nyo man. Yari si Sergio Ortiz Luis Jr., President ng Employers Confederation of the Philippines.
That President Marcos will exercise that. And all agencies of government are being asked to look at some ways how to assuage the people because of the increases in prices, inflation. Well, it's no-brainer that an increase that is impending is one way of doing that, no? So long as it doesn't harm the fund. And I don't think 1 year postponement would matter much to SSS life. And therefore, we are appealing that perhaps it can be postponed for another year.
But this appeal clearly fell on deaf ears because they're pushing through with the rate increases, at least for SSS. What happens now? How will this impact employers and employees? Because you do share the contributions.
Well, it's not really a big part of the cost, no? But nowadays, any increase, even 1 peso in the cost, is felt by the workers and the employers, especially the small ones. So we always go to the government and run for ayudas or whatever. And there are programs that are created for the small ones, especially SMEs, so that they can move on to this pandemic that is ending. Luckily, we are moving away from it. But nevertheless, there's still a lot of the small companies. 90% of our enterprises are micro, and 50% of them closed down during the pandemic. A lot of them is not yet open. They have not yet called their employees, and there's a lot of costs that they're looking at. And perhaps one of the assistants, non-wage assistance, because there are demand for increase in wages, will be a little reprieve from the increase that SSS is planning to have. And that will be a welcome act for the small employers, especially.
To be fair, sir, the jobs market is starting to improve. I mean, unemployment rate improving in October, just 4.5% from 5.2 in July, although underemployment is still up 14.2%. Clearly, people are not making enough money, so they need to find multiple jobs just to make ends meet. But, sir, I guess the real issue here when we talk about contributions to SSS or PhilHealth is when the time comes to claim the benefits, you realize how small you get, how lacking and unsupportive these systems are. I remember in my own experience, giving birth, I got a measly 3,000 pesos from PhilHealth. Even in a public hospital, that's not going to be enough. That's barely scratching the surface. Can the private sector demand more, sir, for benefits so that, it makes everyone feel like these contributions are worth our while?
Well, actually, definitely.
Because, sir, if we had such a good social security system, good healthcare system, I don't think we're going to hear people complain about these contributions.
Well, it's never enough. The pension that you get is not going to give you to support you after your. It's always the maximum is to get you by in the future. So anything, but it helps. But right now we're looking at the present. Any cost that you impute on the employers and the employees will be felt.
Okay.
Somehow, and it discourages a lot of these micro employers to open up and hire back their people, and that is what we're precisely trying to do. So let's try to soften the impact of this and push on the. That's why you're asking for postponement.
Sir, I know you have a unique view in terms of trends that employees are seeing, those that workers are seeing across the spectrum. What are you seeing among employers? It's a fascinating jobs market today. You work with employers from some of the biggest companies. What are the companies asking for? What do they need? And how can they support their employees better? Aside from, of course, reprieve from contributions such as this, is there anything else that the work side, the workforce needs to see a better 2023?
Well, 90% of our enterprises are micro, a little over 8% are small, 1% is medium, and less than 1% is large. But 65% of employment is in the micro sector, and they're the ones that have been depleted. Even the 13-month pay is a problem to them, and that's why the government offered them loan, interest-free, so that they can be able to pay the 13-month pay. Unlike last year, a lot of them were not able to meet it. No? But now I think that they're meeting it. You have no problem with the medium and large. As a matter of fact, I think you see that the profit, especially the listed one, you see that they're making a good profit this year, no? After the height of the pandemic. But the micro are still struggling. Even the salary that they have to pay weekly or monthly is a problem to them. So any increasing cost will be, that's why we're appealing, they're not even our members, the micro ones, but they're the ones who are suffering from this. And that's why when we appeal to the government, we say, you make it inclusive, because minimum wage era, for instance, there's always a request. It's only 10% of the workforce, and that is why we're saying.
Nabatihan si Sergio Ortiz Luis Jr., ang president sa Employers Confederation of the Philippines. May kang tanan sini sa plano sang ICCS nga pa-increasean ko ng contribution sa mga miyembro sa sunod nga tuig. Di wala man ang problema kung magamusin na, kung magpasugot lang ang mga employers man no? Magsugot na mga employees kaya may counterpart na da sila sa contribution sa mga employees. Kaya kung hindi silang pasugot, alang-alang yung i-shoulder man lang niya tanan-tanan sa mga miyembro, masakit-sakit man no? Magluwas lang kung self-employed ikaw, pag gusto ka na mabayad ka kung hindi. Pero kung nara ka nagatrabaho sa private man o kung sa diin man dira nga kompanya, dapat entitled ka sa sining contribution. Kag may ara counterpart ang imong employer no sa pag-remit dito sa opisina sang SSS. Iban na ginakwaan na nila ilang mga empleyado. Why sila yung naghatag sang ilang share? Dapat may share siya. No? Kung increasean, wala gina problema. Basta may ara lang nga shareman nga i-contribute ang management o kon ang employer sang employees. Amo na nami lang. Dapat obligaron sang gobyerno. 3 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 10. Kay Sir Hannibal, plana kag kay Ma'am April, plana mayong gabi. Sa iban man nato nga listeners ka mga viewers, thank you so much sa kay Dr. Marilyn Garmay Gaitan. Base magkadto ka mo bla, magpakonsulta ka mo. Miyerkules kag Sabado ha. Dira sa Cruising Pinya sa Isadak Pharmacy, no? Kadtuin nyo da palihog. Kadto ka mo kay Doc Marilyn halin sa ano to oras ganito na nagligad to. Tanong ko na para mabalan ko lipat na ko, no? Asinsya gid Doc ka. Damo na tender tam. No? Basahon tani ang kwan ni Doc Marilyn. Di na to man. Sadya ni. No? Okay na ni. Ada. Ay, Doc Marilyn. Basahon ta. Para makadtuan ninyo to bla. No? Arada sa ang clinic ya sa Tubang gina di lang kay nagsala ni siguro to sa isa. Dok, pasensya ha. Dito gali ni mo yung padala ni sa messenger, no? Ang mensahe. Okay, ari na. Cruising Pinya sa Jibrela Pharmacy. Diba? Wednesday kag Saturday, alas 10:30 sang aga, tob las 3 sang hapon. Amo nang klinika niya. No? Clinic kaya, amo nang oras. So, sa mga nagapamangkot, ma-share lang kamo to. No? Ma-share lang kamo to. Silingan nyo natong sugo ta kamo. Nga makadto dira, alin sa Iloilonewsline. Kadtuin nyo lang to si Dr. Marilyn. Tanaw ka mo to sa inyong ginabatyag sa mga kabataan, sa mga ginikana, may mga kabataan nga batyag, masakit. Kadtuin nyo to si Dr. Marilyn Garmay Gaitan. Hindi na mo magtabok sa syudad. Parang hindi na mo magpliti, aralan da kay Dr. Marilyn. Okay? Parang hindi na kamo magastuhan sa pagpamiliti ang gastuhan nyo para na bakal bulong nyo o konsultasyon nyo. At least makatipid pa kamo. 6 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 10 sa atong mga listeners may harap pa. Sa iban pa naton nga mga listeners, mga viewers nga mayara nga naga-text diri sa aton, thank you so much gid. Kag sa mga taga Metro Manila, basib lang magapobraman kamo balay mga mansyon ninyo kung ba mga public market. Ara ang load lift trading and services. Isa man nakadako nga construction firm nagapang disenyo man na nagaobraman plano. Arang ila opisina sa Block 5 Phase M Francisco Homes Gio San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan. Pangitaan nyo si Engineer Joey Diaz o kung mag-text ka mo sa 0939-812-6336 0939-812-6336 o kung mag-email ka mo sa maria_rosim@yahoo.com. Kay Pastor Cesar Soyo sa pamilya Toballas, pamilya Soyo mayong gabi. Sa pamilya Yanson Novera Siderio, Plaga, pamilya Diaz Kaga, pamilya Gamar sa Ganansyal, Ganhe Galvez sa Biniga, Hancorda, kag subong man sa pamilya Baat, mayang gabi sa inyo, pamilya Francisco. Agdiraman sa pamilya Garcia. Sa KSB member Hernani Galvez, kay Atty. Hernando Galvez, mayong gabi. Kay Atty. Sam Paguntalan. Congrats kay Pau Pau, Tia. Pasar sa nursing board. Sa nagigad, pasensya, medyo late na ko, Pau, ha? Sa pagtamyaw si mo. Congrats, git. Wala na kita sa tinyon sa atong pagpangalaga. Dupod lang kay Toto Boy Jeff kag Nonoy MJ. Kini ang inyo alaga Johnny Yanson Diaz. Madamo nga salamat kag mayong gabi Pilipinas para sa Iloilo Newsline.